Morning, people. It is Saturday, July 12th, 2025. Palmer from Bank to Trade. I want to just not much to this video. Just so this is gonna be old information for some people, but I want to talk just a little bit about this INKT and how it ran, because you're going to hear people say that they were the only ones that knew where it was going, or they're the only ones that will be able to tell you where it's going, and they're the only ones that know what this stock is going to do and why it's going to do it. Okay, there are many people that know how to do that, and I'm going to show you how to do it because there's no magic to it. It's not a secret guru or mentor that can tell you this. All right, it's the chart that is going to tell you how to do this. All right. So yesterday, this was gapping up quick. I posted it when it was at about 17. All right. And that means that it opened at 773, or it closed the previous day at 773, and it was up 10 points. So it was at $17, almost $18 when I posted this. Okay. And what I did here is potential targets of where it could go. I had 35 on here. This was a few minutes afterwards because there were some characteristics of this stock that told me that this thing could really go. All right, and I'm gonna look at these, show you these levels here, and more importantly, show you how to map where this stock could go. It's not going to say it can go there. All right, but the way it's moving, I'm not going to get into the news why it was moving. We're just mapping the charts real quick. All right, because this is open to everybody. It's no secret sauce recipe or anything like that. It's all in the chart. So let's show you how in the chart that you can find these potential price targets, or even higher if it chooses to do that. Okay, so this was the price action for the day. I don't have anything noted on this chart at all. All right, this is pre-market right here. Zoom back in here. So at about 17, it popped up here. So about a minute or two after the news, I'm like, whoa, what's all this about? Okay, it was getting a little bit of volume, 100,000 or so, 50, 60,000, which is okay. All right, but for something to run really hard pre-market, you want several 100,000 of these bars. You want 200,000 or 300,000 per minute coming in, and it bounced up there quick, 100,000, but then it kind of just held. All right, it was holding. That's one important characteristic also. Okay, but where could it go? It's not, again, it's not one person that knows how to do this. Okay, so when it pops up here quick, when I'm scanning, I have 4 time frames up. I automatically have the daily chart up here to begin with, so I can see snapshots really quick. So when you have one of these that are going nuts to begin with, all right, what I do, I just go back on the daily to begin with, and I'm looking for these previous highs where it went. All right, now we've already passed this 1366, and this isn't showing pre-market, but right here, pre-market was about right here. Let's just call it $18. Okay, so we're already past that. So what I do and what you can do is just simply go back, mark the high points where it could go. All right, and what is this telling you? All right, this is a previous resistance area where the price could go to. And if the stock's at 17 or 18 and you might have a target of $19, you want to get a point out of the move. That's a potential price target. That tells me, hey, let's take some off there because it's a resistance area and it fell back down. All right, but what if it goes above that? All right, and you see even back here, it hit this 19 area and it fell back. So what I would do if I want to go back even further, where it hit it to begin with is kind of where I want to be measuring from. That's an area. All right, I'm going to use this area as a price target. Then I'm going to use this area as a price target. Now you're looking at 32, okay, as a price target area. But if we want to look, that's a pretty wide gap. All right, you got about 12, 13 points within there. All right, so you might be thinking, well, that's a pretty wide stretch. Let's look in between that if we can. You can narrow this down to a 4-hour chart or a 2-hour chart, which I do. Okay, and you're going to see these areas where it hit before. So looking in between there, it had trouble here. It had some trouble. When I say trouble, that's, it's a resistance area there. It had trouble in this area. Okay, so now we're starting to get a little bit of a map here. All right, now you don't want to tag every single one of these because then you're going to have too many lines on your chart. Okay, you want to spread these out a little bit just to have some kind of reference where it had a little trouble previously. That's a target. All right, whether it makes it there or not is not the problem. You're mapping this out. Okay, this is how you do this. And if it keeps wanting to go, you go to the next highest level, 34. You come up here to this point, 43. All right, and this went up to 70 something. So you're thinking, well, we've already passed that. Where can we go from there? Just go back. This is all you do. This is all that you have to do. Now, this is running crazy. Opens there at its IPO, had trouble here. You have to zoom in to see that. Another price point at 111. Who knows? Okay, I've seen these things move more than this. Okay, now you're going way back. The way it's moving, let's put a fib up here from the high to the low. Believe it was 389. If it's not, we'll fix that, which it was. And we have the fibs up here now at this 87 area, this 112 area. Now let's go to, I'm going to try to squeeze this in. All right, and look how price hit this fib way back from that high, and it tagged it. Let's look at the 1 minute and see what this looks like. Anybody says fibs are nonsense, they're nonsense. Okay, look how price made it up to that level and hovered there and came right back down and hit our previous high-low areas, or the high points from way back in history. All right, price comes down to settle here a few times at this fib, at this 55 area, then makes its way back up. All right, so now you don't know, again, you don't know that the stock is going to go up there, but there are certain characteristics of why this did this. So it's not one single person that's going to tell you, I'm the only one that knew how to do this. No, the chart is the one to tell you where these things can go. All right, and you do this for every chart you're going to trade, pre-market, map it out, even the pre-market price action. You look at these areas to break, which it did. You look at these areas to hold previously, which it did. Right at the open, you see how it came back to that 19 area and held. Volume comes in and takes it up. 8 points away, you get that bounce to the previous, takes them off. Now it's stalling, not stalling, it's getting halted here. Opens, moves up to the next area. You take some off, okay? Because this is potential to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. The stock closed at $7 and changed the previous day, and now it's up here to 35. If you're not paying yourself, I prefer to trade smart. I didn't trade this ticker because I traded holo that day. This was Friday, but you simply go back, you map the chart to give you these projection areas if it's going to do that. There's no magic. There's no secret to this at all. This is all part of trading, especially if you're day trading. If you're scalping, if you're doing things intraday, map it. Go back at the history, look at the previous resistance areas if something's running, and that's how you get these targets. Okay. On the other hand, if something is getting short, if it's tanking, You just look for the previous support areas where it could break through. You just flip it upside down. All right, that's it. That's all you do. More information coming out. Go out and play. It's Saturday. Trade smart.